money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss along with Pauly Howard. We're live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. A very busy 3-hour program lined up today. Mike DeCourcy on the program, college basketball in 1 hour. Mike Palm in studio a little bit later on. Matt Humans, his best bets for tonight, this week. Conference tournaments. He has 7 futures that he likes. And we are loaded today with a bunch of games going on. Earlier results from this morning. Games coming up tonight. And we will go live betting as much as possible over the next 3 hours, Pauly. We can begin with what took place earlier in the morning to keep people up to date with some of the results and the betting numbers and where they fell. First of all, much earlier today, Cincinnati played Iowa State. It was the second game in 2 days for Cincy. They were very good yesterday, scored a ton of points against a bad Oklahoma State team. Mm-hmm. Iowa State took them out today. And that was close midway through the second half, so maybe a little misleading. Mm-hmm. But the Cyclones got him by 20, and it stayed under the total. So they were impressive in that game. What just took place and finished within the last half hour, numbers always matter. Arkansas, I saw Arkansas open up as low as 2.5. Did you see anything?
There was a 1.5.
You saw 1.5.
Closed as high as 5.
Okay. So you saw 1.5, closed as high as 5. Arkansas is up by 6. Shooting a 1-and-1 with 12 seconds left. And before you blink, they're only up by 2. And then...
They went 10 minutes without scoring.
Oh, yeah.
Them out.
Up by 20.
Yeah.
And South Carolina came roaring back, and Arkansas forgot how to score. They only have 7 guys playing right now. This is astonishing. We'll try to get the audio for you in the next in this hour. John Calipari told Janelle Davis to miss the back end of the 1-and-1, because he made a free throw to go up by 3, 2.5 seconds left. He told Davis to miss the second one, up 3. He said, hey, look, at that point we're up 3. It's got to be a 90-footer that goes in to tie us, to tie the game and go to overtime. No, it doesn't. No, you can get a pass to midcourt. Your players might foul them on a 45-foot heave, and you might have... What are you doing?
I can't believe it.
You admitted it on national TV.
Yeah. What's his line? It better someone thinks you're foolish and open up your mouth and remove all doubt. I mean, that is, you do it if it's 1 or 2. You don't do it. If you make it, it ends the game. Then he goes, well, I'm glad he made it.
He banked it in.
Yeah, right.
He tried to miss, he banked it in.
Right. It's unbelievable that a guy making that much money, who's been around the sport that long, you make the free throw, the game's over. What are you doing?
I've been screaming this from the mountaintops, I think, for as long as we've had this show on VSiN. How he's the best recruiter we've ever seen. And at the same time, he's one of the worst coaches of our lifetime in any sport on this continent. He's that bad. Yep. That's no exaggeration.
Then the replacement comes in, and they overachieve. As Pope's done a nice job.
Wow.
I can't believe he said that. I'm stunned. I cannot believe a guy's been around the game this long, and he said that, and he told his players to do it when you go up 4 and the game's over. Well, I mean, what would they have to do to tie the game? And that's, well, you're helping them out by missing on purpose,
of course.
John. Oh, and that's they're in now, too. I mean, I guess, but...
But by the way, was he watching the end of the Pacers-Bucks game last night?
No kidding. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, anything can happen. I would argue that Halliburton took 4 to 5 steps, and Giannis never touched him.
Yeah, I can't believe they called the foul.
But he got away with the travel.
Yeah.
And they called the foul. And what happens? It's a 4-point play. They win basically at the buzzer.
Yep.
You don't want to leave it on. None of this. You don't want to put it in the opposing team's hands. You don't want to maybe, like, you think you can trust your players. Oops, he fouled the guy shooting a 45-footer. You don't want the referees to get involved ever in something like this.
What do you want to do next week? They're probably going to be a 9 or a 10 seed? I mean, they were up 17, but it's a South Carolina team that had 2 conference wins. One of them, they blew out Arkansas.
Yeah. Well, so, are they going to have Thero back?
Uh-huh.
Here's the thing. I think Arkansas will win the game tomorrow. Especially if Thero plays.
They're getting 3.5 at DraftKings.
Yeah, I think Arkansas can win that game. And then it's probably curtains.
Well, imagine if he gets routed again in the tournament. Because whoever they're playing, you're going to give him the coaching edge.
No matter who it is. Which team's going to have the coaching edge automatically.
Yeah, right.
So, but again, lands 4.
That's right.
Never should have.
Horrible landing spot.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I don't know what's going on with blown leads. You're never out of games here. You always have action with the in-play. Kids fall apart. San Jose State falls apart.
Yeah.
And sometimes the pressure in the moment's too big. And like Chris Felica, the Bear, tweeted, an all-time bleep-the-bed moment with Central Connecticut State. And it's just, you've won 14 in a row. You beat St. Francis by 14 and 15, and you can't score. You give up 46 points on your home floor, and you can't win the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just sometimes the pressure's too much.
Well, I mean, and then, honestly, like if you get into what happened last night in the West Coast Conference title game as well,
right?
That's an all-timer.
Right. St. Mary's can't score 55 points?
Yeah, this is from OptaStats. Gonzaga is the only Division I team in the last 25 years to score below 60 points, shoot under 10% from threes on 15-plus attempts, get out-rebounded by 15 or more, and yet still win the game. Division I teams were 0-121 over the last 25 years when they put up those numbers. And they won the West Coast title game doing that.
Yep. I thought for sure St. Mary's is going to get them in the second half. That's the worst 10 minutes of basketball they've played all season.
Probably.
And they're only down a couple at halftime. But Zag's got it done again. Joe Lunardi has them now a 7 seed. Amen, brother. I hope he gets it right. And they would be playing Alabama in the second round. Giddy up. I'm still not buying Gonzaga. It was okay. They won, but St. Mary's was awful, and I guess they won an ugly game. So congratulations. But I am happy that they're off the 8-9 line. Don't put them on. Don't give them the 8-9 game.
No, not with their power rating overall. So let's say they are the 7 and they get Bama, and SEC tournament pending, obviously with Bama's results here. Let's just pretend that we get that matchup, and Bama opens up to maybe a 3-point favorite against Gonzaga.
It's Bama all you can eat.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can trust that team this year?
Yes.
I think that
they got them. Well, it was a couple of years ago, but it was it was in Los Angeles, the one against the 4. Gonzaga got blown out by. That was Arkansas. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But I'll take Bama absolutely. Bama has some great wins. They went into Auburn and beat them, and I know what their A game looks like. I don't know what is Gonzaga's A game. Have I seen it? What is it? The Baylor game to start the season? I mean, come on.
I would say the first half against Kentucky was pretty A game, but that's only a half. Again, not a full game. They fell apart. They didn't know how to adjust in the second half. What if it's Michigan State?
Does
Izzo
I take Izzo. Now, the streak is on the line, too, then. 9 straight trips to the Sweet 16. That would be on the line, assuming they win the 7-10 game. And, of course, they have them matched up against Drake. Okay.
Of course.
I saw it right away.
Of course.
Every freaking time.
Why would they not?
It's just a coincidence. We don't look at this when we put it together.
No, never.
Watch for that. Watch for that Sunday. Who's St. Mary's playing and who's Gonzaga playing? Because Gonzaga played McNeese last year. If they put Gonzaga, Duke, and St. Mary's, San Diego something, I'm just gonna. That's it.
But didn't we have that one year where Bob Knight was at Texas Tech? And he completely flipped that program around. And in the tournament, like the second round, it would have been against Indiana.
I believe so.
Oh, but we didn't. I swear to God, we didn't look at it.
Sure.
Oh, no. Yeah,
sure.
it landed that way.
Sure.
Yeah,
There's always storylines and always former coach going against this. Yeah, absolutely. There'll probably be St. John's, Kentucky shenanigans or something. Watch for that. Good point. Good angle.
How about St. John's is the 2, Kentucky's the 3 in the same region?
Yeah. Yeah. Look at this. Texas up 6 against Vandy.
Yeah, that quickly
Gotta
flipped.
have it. Gotta have it game, Sal Pal. Catching 2.5, 3.
So I'm on the over in this game. I bet it over 148.5. Live numbers here at DraftKings 145.5. Crazy hectic pace in the first 4 to 5 minutes when I was watching the game live, but they just couldn't get shots to fall. So I need the pace to continue, but eventually those shots need to start going in if I have any chance of going over. And you and I are both on North Carolina today. We got in the opener yesterday afternoon, minus 7.5.
Yeah.
They're up by 20 right now against Notre Dame, and they are laying 18.5 in play. The total is 140.5 in that spot.
They win, they play Wake. Well, they're going to win. What am I talking about? They play Wake now in the 4-5, and if they win, they get Duke. Duke plays Georgia Tech tomorrow. Duke open 21.5. Yeah.
Probably slip out of bed and
sure
win by 25. We should have our heads examined, though. I thought about this. I missed the start time today because I wanted to bet North Carolina first half. Now, it would have been really, a 2.5-point move probably based on the numbers from yesterday to today. But that's got to be a consideration here, right? Because today, tomorrow, Friday, we have so many games. Next week as well. The first halves, the second halves, the team totals, that stuff all has to be in the portfolio.
How about at Circa? They got first to 10 on every game. How good is that?
On all these games.
Every game they got first to 10.
Oh, man.
Good job. Good job.
That is phenomenal.
We also have a championship game in 45 minutes. I took 14 and I took 13 with Lamar. McNeese plays Lamar in the Southland title game. It's on McNeese's home floor. They opened up 14. It's down to 12.5. McNeese ran right through the league. Again, they went 19. It's with Will Wade. They went 19-1 in conference play. They messed around yesterday. They were laying a big. Well, it was a bad beat, but depending on the number, went up to 16.5. They were up 19. It got cut to 5, and then they held Northwestern State scoreless in the final 3 minutes and covered. So both games were close. It's the 1 against the 2. Both games were close, and they come out a 14-point favorite. That's a ton of respect for McNeese. I took the points.
Yeah. And what about that Lamar total again? Open 150,
right.
close 136.5.
Yep, right.
14-point move on a total in March.
Everything free at VSiN until Selection Sunday. Sign up today, VSiN.com/championship week. Full VSiN Pro access. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The betting splits from DraftKings and Circa. The 24/7 video access with the VSiN Watch app. Don't miss out on the free preview. And you click on every conference and you'll read the write-up, the preview, the bracket, the odds, and below it, the Steve Mackinnon trends. Phenomenal. VSiN.com/championship week.
Come on, Vandy. You're 2 of 13 to begin this game from the floor. You got to pick that up. You're getting blown out already by Texas. We'll hit the games on the board starting this hour and later on tonight coming up here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
By live updates here on Wednesday of Championship Week. Carolina up by 19, late second half here. They are currently in play lane 17.5. They lead 62-43. Total is 136.5. Colorado is cut into the Mountaineers' lead of West Virginia. It's now down 31-25. In play here, West Virginia 7.5. Minnesota trails Northwestern 32-27, and Texas is on top of Vandy 15-9 in a commercial break. They just came back now. Texas, I think, shooting free throws.
Yeah.
Do you want to do anything live here?
Let's lay the 2.5. Or you could go, you can find $1.50 on a money line in play. It's ugly how Texas wants it, and they have to have it. I'm taking Texas in play. And I took them before the game as well.
I thought we were going to get a great pace. It started that way. These two teams have been playing super high-scoring games. Vandy 2 of 13 from the floor. Now Texas missing free throws as well. So my over 148.5 is it's right now currently 139.5 with the in play.
All right, sorry about that. And here comes Colorado. West Virginia giving it back now too. Mm-hmm. So we're getting a competitive game in that one. Close.
Right.
Yep.
Coming up bottom of the hour, LaSalle takes on UMass, and the Minutemen are laying. Let's see here, 2.5 in the game. 145.5 is the total. I have all the projection sites in front of me. They have it going over the total of 145, landing about 148, 149, and they have UMass winning a very tight basketball game. But the point spread obviously tells you that they're expecting like a one-possession game here between these two.
Yeah.
I have nothing on this game.
No thoughts. The big, yep.
Do you want to fade Fresno?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. It's a big number for Nevada, but again, all the distractions and issues and guys kicked off the team in the daily fantasy, they can't wait for the season to end. So if there's going to be a small Reno Wolfpack, one-man Wolfpack maybe, contingent here. But what a movie. I loved it. So word of mouth, by the way, too. That's why that thing did so well. It just spread like wildfire with the Hangover. But I think the Wolfpack takes them out, and I think they're dangerous. I think that 7-2 game is good. This tournament's going to be awesome.
Oh, it's going to be tremendous.
I think Nevada could be right there with Colorado State. And again, Colorado State would probably have to need 2 wins to get it in. But that could be a game where they're nervy and more Wolfpack fans are there, and they get upset. So that bracket could be wide open also because UNLV would have a great chance the way Utah State's playing in the 6-3, and Utah State already lost here in Las Vegas against UNLV. So I think Fresno gets blown out.
I've heard some bettors, maybe locals here too, but more bettors than like locals living in Las Vegas, say that UNLV absolutely is live to make a run in this tournament.
Yes.
And they were as high as 20-1 here at Circa to win that bad boy. At 3 o'clock Pacific time, 6 o'clock on the East Coast, Iowa takes on Ohio State in the Big Ten. The Buckeyes are laying about 5 in this game. Total, let's see here. Updated total in this game, 154.5, I believe, here on the screen.
Yep. I dabbled. I did an Ohio State Baylor money line parlay. And I also did Ohio State minus 5.5. Also, a disappointing year for Iowa. And I think, once again, the Buckeyes have to have it. Last 4 in, last 4 out. The first 4 out depends where you look. But I think they'll be able to score at will. Again, Iowa doesn't play any defense, and the Buckeyes will get the win and cover and move on. And that Baylor game's intriguing now. I see them on the 10 line, and last 4 byes with Lenardi and other people.
Wow.
Bratrick but there's not, lost to Houston their last game. Not much on the resume in the last couple of weeks, and they would do well. And I would encourage them to win this game because then it gets tricky. So. Again, it's been a roller coaster for Kansas State. What a season. Just like they played their way back out of the bubble.
Right.
And then they fell off again as well after, they had that huge win at Iowa State. But I think Baylor and Ohio State both will get there.
So did you lay the 5.5 with Baylor too, or is that just part of the money line parlay?
No, I didn't. I did the Ohio State and then also did the parlay.
Okay, because I do think that number is kind of high. But you're exactly right now. And obviously they won a title, 4 years ago. That guy's a really, really good basketball coach. Quickly here back to the Iowa game for a second. What's the sense of desperation here? Probably thinking deep down that it's Fran's last.
He's out, right?
Oh, he's out, right?
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
Unless they would make somehow a shockingly deep run in the Big Ten tournament, and by that I would have to say probably has to make the Big Ten title game,
which would hurt the university and the program. Ask NC State.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You don't want to do that now.
So, but does that translate to the court today? Actually. Where the players want to, win one for the Gipper.
I can't imagine they like him. He is unbearable.
I can't stand watching him.
I know.
Yeah.
He's always complaining and yelling and issues over the years with officials, and I thought he did a great job at Siena. I thought they would be a top program, and that has not worked out. So I can't imagine he's like, I can't imagine that's the sentiment. Let's go in one for the big guy.
All right. Later tonight, more Big Ten action here. USC takes on Rutgers. Very good game. The total... with the projections here, Ken Palm, Bart Torvik, and others, they have it touching almost 160 in this game. And the betting market has it lower than that. In fact, it's come down to, I see one book now, 151.5 on the total. USC has been playing
you like it over
to the over a lot. And, well, I'm a little concerned now that the market it's kind of like the Southern Utah game yesterday. Why does this game keep going up? And it just... then it comes out a little bit later on that I think a couple players missed the game for Southern Utah. But I don't want to go against the betting market here when it's come down, a good, 2.5, 3 points, I think. Yep.
Did you do anything in the Patriot? I know you had condolences with Bucknell. This is bizarre. Another 3 tickets are punched today.
Right.
The Big Sky title game is fire. It's 1 against a 2 seed. American plays Navy. It's a 2 against a 5. I think Navy's the 5 or the 6, but liability here at Circa. Navy was as high as 20-1 to win the conference tournament. Navy swept American. American 3.5 and 131. This is crazy. You see this, right?
Sure. I mean, again, it goes
Navy
back to the game.
Them.
Yeah, to the at least 2 games that we had yesterday. I just mentioned the very popular Southern Utah Tech game.
Yep.
In which Southern Utah swept them, and Utah Tech had not had a win since January 11th, 14 straight losses, and they won and they covered the game yesterday. And the other one was Gonzaga against St. Mary's, right? Where St. Mary's was easily the best team when they played Gonzaga. I mean, they played them for 80 minutes. They were probably the better team for like 70 minutes in those 2 games combined. And so the power rating on Gonzaga just happens to be so high, and they won, and they did not play a good game at all last night, and they still covered every number imaginable. Have you touched it yet?
No. I'm rooting for American, but I don't know if it's...
You're rooting against Navy? For the
I'm
record.
American,
wow.
American. I'm on American, though.
I don't know.
I can't go wrong.
I don't know.
American, hell yeah. Come on. On their home floor?
Go back and watch that movie once.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell me what you think about it.
Yep.
So I do. I kind of like that USC Rutgers over, but it scares me that it's come down so much. And you like Oklahoma getting the points against Georgia.
Yes, I do. Again, got to have it game. And these teams, I think, are going to do well that need to have it on the bubble, and that at least what happened last week as well. Xavier's got that huge game against Marquette. They're catching 2.5 as well, but I think Oklahoma's going to win it outright on the money line and beat Georgia here to get it done. And if they do so, they'll be dancing. They won't have anything to sweat.
Well, so hold on. If Oklahoma wins the game and they're dancing, Texas is up right now 21-13 against Vandy.
Yeah, we're looking at what, 14?
Are we going to get 14?
Yeah.
So we're going to have...
Assuming bid thieves, though.
Right.
Which we had 5 last year.
Okay, so then we're going to... the math is going to have to work out where we're probably going to get at least, 2 possible matchups in the second round featuring SEC teams?
Yeah.
And, oh, man.
Nothing you can do.
But it's these power conferences now, though. Right? When you have this many teams and it happens to be the best conference we've ever had.
Yeah, Mike DeCourcy coming up, too. Can't wait to talk to Mike. The Big 12 commissioner said, let's go to 76. Can you imagine the crap that's, even if San Diego can't get in, the crap that's on the bubble? If you go to 76, you're talking about teams that could be 8 games under 500 in conference play.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel then.
Because they're, right, do I have this correct? They're not going to expand for the little guy. Now, I guess the only saving grace of that would be suddenly that turns Tuesday and Wednesday into all-day basketball marathons.
Fran Fraschilla nailed it. If you go to 72, then Tuesday, Wednesday becomes 2 more games. 4 in total, which I like. I don't have a problem with that. You're going to 76. I mean, this is like DeCourcy tweeted. Have you watched the sport this year?
Yeah.
Look at who's getting in then.
That's going to be the case every single season, Pauly.
Terrible. What a mistake. These guys just, what 40 talks about all the time, the greed.
No, I know.
It's like you have every advantage. And, we need more. More. Got to have more. Right? Bunch of Gordon Geckos running around. Crazy. Good pace. You get the pace? You got the pace? 21-15 now?
Yeah, it's...
Texas? You got the pace you want. Attacking the rack, lay it in.
But look at this. I mean,
21-17 Texas, 21-15. He missed it.
Just the missed shots though, over and that was like point blank range too.
It's helter skelter though. Second half over.
We'll see what pops.
Yep.
It'll probably be 77.5.
Okay. Eliminate all the fake handicappers who are pitching fake records. Juice Reel, bringing transparency to the picks marketplace. All Juice Reel betting accounts are synced with the betting history directly from the books. No hiding the bad records. They rank every bettor based on the actual record. Sharp bettors even get paid when others follow their picks. Check it out for yourself. Download the app. Promo code Let's Go. Get $25 in free app currency. Free in the App Store. Juice Reel, REEL. Download Juice Reel today. Get it. Promo code Let's Go.
NBA betting board tonight coming up next. The marquee game is absolutely fantastic. We'll touch on it next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Pauly, I need the sun to start shining on the dog's hind end in this Texas Vanderbilt game. Over 148.5 in pocket. It is 27-19 Texas, 4.5 to play first half. In play total 141.5. Combined, these two teams are 0-14. There's another miss. 0-14 from three-point land and 12 of 18 from free throw, from the stripe. There you go, boys. Mm-hmm. Way to go. Marquee game in the NBA tonight. Oklahoma City takes on Boston. This is a rematch of a game that these two teams played in Oklahoma City on a football Sunday. I think it was the last Sunday of the regular season in the NFL. Boston had a comfy halftime lead on the road. They scored 27 points, and the Thunder's defense completely shut down the Celtics in the second half, and they ran away with the game. Now, this point spread has been kind of all over. The first one I saw last night was 4.5 for the Celtics. It's down to 2.5. It was down to 2 earlier today.
Everyone's at shoot-around. Porzingis is there. Tatum's there. Appears they're healthy and going to give it a go. A little revenge, you're right. And I was dying to bet the over, and it's come down 4 points. Based on what transpired in that first game, you're right. But OKC, again, since the All-Star break, 21st in defense, number 1 in offense. But do they dial it up again and get serious here? And especially coming off a horrible loss. It's not a horrible loss to lose at home to Denver. It's what happened.
Right.
And what they did in the fourth quarter and what they gave up and they allowed. So it's an interesting handicap because you got – how good has Boston been here on this homestand? Played the Lakers, the Knicks, the Cavs, and I'm missing someone. Also a high-quality team. They led every game by 20. They blew the one against the Cavs. tried to blow it against the Lakers.
Right.
But they've been great on this homestand playing these elite teams or top teams in the league and getting it done. And then this fits here. So, but again, what OKC defensive team am I going to get here? The one that was so good and historically great the first half, or the one that's playing horrible defense since the break?
Well, okay, so the Celtics take more threes than any team in the league. They make more threes as well, and they got 7-8 guys that can kill you from downtown, especially if Porzingis and Tatum are going to go in this game.
Denver was the other team. Celtics were up 20.
Okay, yep. OKC, for the entire season, not recent form, but long-term here, they've had the best defense in the NBA. In fact, for a long stretch, it was historically good. And they've also been, like, all year long, the number one team against the three. But if Boston's knocking down their threes and they hit 18, 20 of them tonight, even if they're contested, the way Oklahoma City's defense has been trending, combined with that team having the number one offense overall in the NBA since the All-Star break, I think 229, especially if Tatum and Porzingis go.
Yep.
I think we might get an adjustment. But that's a big if, though, because tip time's coming up in, 3 hours?
Mm-hmm.
So anything can happen with the status of these players.
Yep.
No, there's no Jalen Williams for the Thunder.
Correct. Yep.
So I need to know more of who's going to be in, who's going to be out of this game before I make a wager.
If everyone's in, it's got to be Boston. Yep.
Yep, me too.
Yep.
And probably the over for me.
And I know you were at the dentist. You got to brush twice a day, Mitch, and floss. I heard this earlier today on a podcast. It's incredible. Dallas beat the Spurs in the last meeting with 7 players. 2 of them were on minutes restrictions. They can't sign anyone. The minimum contract, 10-day deal is $110,000, I believe. It puts them over the apron. What a gong show this is. This is incredible. They can't sign anyone and get help. They're stuck with all the injuries, and 2 guys butted heads, and the other guys are on limits restrictions, which they went over in the fourth quarter. Yada, yada, yada. The Spurs still lost to this team, and now they're laying 6.5, same number tonight. Can't guard you.
And the Mavericks only have 7 guys again?
Yeah.
Is that the number?
7, 8 guys, yeah. Can't sign anyone. And then plus you got guys on minutes restrictions too, so who goes off? Who eats? I mean, we've been trying to get on the Dinwiddie bandwagon. He was terrible until the Spurs game. Marshall's been great. Clay went off, but everyone's going to go off against the Spurs. I mean, it's a joke what they look like defensively. So, number one, they can't be laying this. Number two, it's another great opportunity for Dallas to steal a win here and stay ahead of the Suns for the play-in. And they're now a favorite now to make it, Dallas. After winning and the Suns lost again. So, again, the total, which it moved 12 points in the last game. You can't bet a Suns game under right now. It's 235.5, 236 that they gave up 141 to Minnesota. And I'll just let you look at the scores, how bad San Antonio's been since Wemby went out. They let go of the rope, and there's no effort. It's a joke. You
want to do Mavericks team total over, even though they only have 7 guys?
Yes.
Is that a consideration?
That's a good, yes.
And
I'm waiting for Marshall props, too. I don't see any on DK, but I'll look at Caesars during the break as well. That guy's been awesome.
He's been tremendous. Are you also going to be betting the Mavericks plus the 6 and on the money line?
Yes.
Betting both?
Yep.
Okay.
You might get the pride angle to show up here with San Antonio, but I doubt it.
So if tonight is the ultimate bounce back spot for Oklahoma City, getting embarrassed on defense by Denver and Joker, I would absolutely tell you back in the MVP, he never should have been out of it, but you know what I'm saying here. If it's the ultimate bounce back here for Oklahoma City, is it kind of a letdown for Denver after having played 2 consecutive games in Oklahoma City? They put everything. They scored more than 1.4 points per possession. I cannot express how unbelievable that is.
Yep.
1.4 plus points per possession against Oklahoma City's defense in that game. Joker went nuts. And now they get Minnesota playing much better basketball, albeit weaker competition.
Right.
But Minnesota also has had Denver's number. They've
there you go.
Defeated them 4 straight games.
Trying to get the 6th seed as well, which is important. And easy schedule. Joker since the break, averaging 24, 15, and 10. You look at the easiest remaining schedules in the league for the contenders. I say contender, but it also factors in play in Toronto, Philly, Atlanta, and Minnesota. So remember, after they throttled Denver on that national TV game, afterwards, Minnesota players talked about, we have to take advantage of this. The schedule's so easy the rest of the way, and now hopefully we're getting healthy, that we have to get out of this 7, 8, 9 business. And the race is on. I think they're going to do it, and who knows, they could catch Houston as well. So it is suspiciously low, though, but it's a bad spot, probably a little Malinsky special here, too, with Denver. But T-Wolves have owned them, as you said.
Yep.
233.5 the total.
I'm guessing, they're going to be juiced to the moon, but no surprise here tonight if Anthony Edwards and Naz Reid go nuts against this team.
Mm-hmm.
They've been playing great basketball.
Yep. How about the Clipper game? We got hooked on the Harden prop. Sorry. He scored 25. He went over his threes, though. It was a bad loss. Kawhi's not playing. They opened 1. Miami now laying 2.5. Miami has been atrocious since the Butler trade. They lost at home to Charlotte. So now, we got some 8, 9 to 1 in our pocket with Atlanta to win the division. Oh, their schedule's so easy. And Orlando's a mess and Miami's a mess. You can still find $1.30 on the Hawks to win this division. $1.40 in that range. And I know Powell, no Kawhi. Miami really favored. I can't believe it. What's with the Clipper defense now? You can't let the Pelicans do that. Come on, guard somebody. Give up 127 points.
Well, the Pelicans offense, actually, they have some guys capable of, lighting off some fireworks during games. And Zion had his second triple-double of his career. And by the way, it's happened, I think, the last 2 or 3 weeks.
They're getting blown out, though. 206.5 the total now. Too low. Too much of an adjustment. Clippers have been a major disappointment defensively going back, and they're going to probably get in the play-in now. They're going to be in that 8-9 scenario.
Well, by the way, you mentioned the Hawks there. Yep. What's the latest on Trae Young? He was questionable not that long ago for this game tonight.
He looks like he's good to go. I thought he was at shoot-around.
Well, with or without him, they should still be able to beat Charlotte because they're just completely the bottom feeders of the league.
He's probable. Giddey's out.
And then what do you want to do with the Knicks at the Blazers? The Blazers were playing that great basketball for like 6 weeks, but this Knicks West Coast road trip here, what they did, the Kings were playing good basketball, and the Knicks blew their doors off the other night. It was never a game.
They were great from 3. So if they shoot like that from 3, they're going to win the games. You're right. It hasn't gone well for Portland of late, but they're playing hard, and they wanted to be a part of this play-in the worst way. I just don't know if they're able to pull it off. But, even without Brunson, the Knicks have fellas. They have weapons.
Sure they do.
And this is where maybe it's on some Cat props and some Bridges props here, too, to get it done. Tough call. I would only look at the over, though, based on how the Knicks have played and good offensively and issues defensively.
All right, let me point this out. This is a good tweet from Jim Campbell. You can always tweet the show at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Pauly Howard. He points out when he looks at the VSiN prop analyzer, vsin.com, a bunch of players are 7-0 in their last 7 games and more than 70% last 15 games overall. For example, Josh Hart for the Knicks, under 6.5 assists tonight. That one qualifies. McDaniels from Minnesota, over 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That kid has been on fire. That'd be another good look, I think, tonight in this game. Christian Brown for the Nuggets, over 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. You can go and check out others that are available on the VSiN prop analyzer at vsin.com.
Good call, Jim. 32-19, Texas. Right now, the VSiN Watch app is free. You can stay connected to the action wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app. Available on your phone, tablet, smart TV with the VSiN Watch app. 24/7 live access to the audio and video streams, replays of your favorite shows. Love this. Quick access to clips by sport. Watch VSiN anywhere. Download the app today and get all the features free until March 16th. And everything's up there. Hoops, humans, picks, golf, everyone on the hoops. Phenomenal. Nigel with soccer, VSiN. Get it now. Get up to vsin.com at VSiN Championship Week. Everything free till Sunday.
You can put us on the board. Yes, I'll explain that coming up, and Pauly's going to recap more of the betting action and win-lose next here on VSiN.
Last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Well, you saw a big upset yesterday. And St. Francis, they didn't make the tournament in 1991. PA. They were a 15 seed. They were 15-1 to win the Northeast. They were plus 650 just to win the game last night. Chris Felica with a great tweet. Top-seeded Central Connecticut State lost on its home floor to a team that shot 32%, 5 of 26 from 3, and 3 of 7 from the line. That's the definition of bleeping the bed.
Wait, did you see the email that we got?
This is a great email as well. What had to happen? Because they beat the 2-seed Long Island. They were down 15 at halftime. Central Connecticut had won 14 in a row. They swept them, beat beat them by double digits in both games. You allow 46 points at home as an 11.5-point favorite. You can't win the game. They were so bad offensively and nervous, and the pressure got to them. The kid from St. Francis in a tie game with the shot clock off took a jumper with 11 seconds left, and he made it. Oh, the email was phenomenal about what they needed to do. Do you have it?
The whole email?
Yeah, well, about what had to happen. It's incredible. They needed a kid to miss a dunk late on a breakaway just to get to the semis, as I understand it as well.
Yeah, keep going. I'll get it here at the end of this.
Wilmington to win the Coastal. Squeaky bum time. They win plus 180 and take out the 12 seed Delaware. Gonzaga to win the West Coast minus 150. Northern Colorado 3.5 up to 5.5 blowout. Nicholls State under. You saw it much higher, but most shops opened 146. It closed 135.5. Game was played in the 50s. Lamar, Nicholls State. Lamar plays McNeese coming up. Pelicans plus 260 on the money line. The Nets from 17 down to 14.5. The Pacers plus 3 to minus 1. Beat the Bucks by 1. Cavs have won 15 in a row. Wasn't pretty. No Mitchell, but they got it done. For the second time this year, they're on a 15-game winning streak.
They're begging to lose a game.
Oh, they're messing around, no doubt.
Yep.
Arkansas, open 1.5, closed 5, won by 4. Incredible. Blew a huge lead. Also, everyone comes to town this time of year and wants to know where should we. I mean, I can't. It's like Nick Bogdanovich said. There's so many great restaurants here. I can't.
Oh, forget it.
So right, but a couple spots. Are taking out Andiamo and Barry's our favorite here. But if you want to Uber, or people out in Summerlin, you can go see our guy Chef Pete at Mastriani's. Mastriani's is great. Piero's, where they filmed Casino, where De Niro and Stone eat. Oscars across the street at the Plaza. Also, they shot a great scene. Nora's, Capo's, if you want some Italian. Couple spots as well. I know people ask all the time.
So my wife she's been a food writer now for a while here in town, transitioning yet again. I could do this for 3 hours. Maybe we should do a podcast on this.
Yes.
The spots that she has taken me over the last month would blow your mind.
Are you kidding?
Paul, it's
all over hidden
insane.
gems. Yep, I bet.
She gets invites 8 times a day.
Oh, wow.
You available? You want to come? You want to bring somebody? Just like, So I've had to say yes to it's incredible. We're very fortunate right now, but I can tell you that this would be a great podcast for you and me to do on the side.
You got it. I'm in. Let's do it. Evergreen, too. We'll get another dog with the Army crawl here. A little winsome. How good is this? Now, look at this. The guy drops food on the floor. Okay? And here, guy in the corner hiding. He sees the food. Here he comes. Mission Impossible, right? Coming in. Dan, 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 dan. Hey, got the Army crawl. I see it. No sudden movements. Okay, dropped it. You gotta come in here. Yeah.
This is from way downtown.
Yeah. Get in there, buddy. Come on. Get in there. Here he comes. And there he moves. The guy goes out of the room. He knows, okay, there we go. It's safe. It's safe, right? Coming in with the Army crawl. Hey, he just dropped food. He doesn't realize it. Crawling, and then he scoots once the guy leaves the room. Excellent. Look at this top rope business with the chow coming up the top rope. This is the puppy with his buddy, probably his dad, just jumping up on his head and on his back and over him. And look at the moves here. Like you always have to have your head on a swivel. He's coming in, jumping on his body, on his head. Yeah, come on, I'm just hanging out watching TV, right?
This appears to happen all day long.
Right, yeah.
It's not like a loop here of 3 or 4 times, right? I mean, this is over and over and over again.
You're going to get back up there, right? Going back on the top rope. I'm going to put this up later. Pauly does Vegas on Instagram. That's awesome. Lose some. Pacers Bucks over. 232 up to 238. No good. Thought you had overtime, though. Robert Morris under. 142.5 to 137.5. They were great. Great offensively to beat the Penguins. Central Connecticut State 9.5 up to 11.5. And 2 vicious beats. A Moose in Charlotte. Cal Vatek under 140. The game was in the 50s. High 50s. You needed double overtime to put it over. This was going on right when we got off the air.
Sure.
Oh, that's so bad. Double overtime to put it over. And Northwestern State plus 15.5 or 16. Down 7 with 3 minutes to go against McNeese. Didn't score the rest of the game. Lost by 19. And then it's still stuck on 16. And the kid from McNeese shot a 3 with 20 seconds. Incredible. Betting on sports, why not try the races? First Bet lets you wager on hundreds of horse races every day, top tracks across the U.S. and around the world. Sign up firstbet.com, promo code VSIN200. Get a 20% rebate for your first 60 days up to $200. Head to firstbet.com today.
The Texas Vandy second half total, I said it'd be 77.5 on the air. It's 78.5. Any interest to go over on that?
Yeah. And Texas is going to take them out. Vandy, I don't think Vandy makes a run. Texas up 15.
All right. So here's the email that we got from CRP. Okay. CKP, my apologies. On St. Francis winning that tournament, right?
Yeah.
So they needed a win in the final regular season game to get a top 4 seed and a home game in the conference tournament. They beat Chicago State. The game went to overtime when a kid on Chicago State missed a breakaway dunk at the buzzer.
Oh, man.
Off a turnover. Well, it was like 2 seconds left. They would have won the game. Mm-hmm. So first round of the tournament, they squandered a 4-point lead with 15 seconds against Wagner, but they won 58-55 when they got fouled taking a 3 with just over 1 second left. In the semifinals, St. Francis trailed Long Island.
Yeah, this is your big
by
one.
15 at the end of the at the half on the road.
Long Island was the 2. Yep.
They battled back to win 71-68. How? Fouled again, shooting a 3 with 1 second left.
Yep.
So think about that for a second.
Long Island was up 4 with like 2 minutes. Blew the game.
And then, in the final, they shot under 32% for the game and 5 of 26 from 3. They won when the kid hits the go-ahead shot with 10 seconds in a tie game. The one that you talked about.
Yeah, shot clock's off. What's he doing?
So forget about like 15-1 pre-tournament for them to actually win the whole thing. The odds on all that to happen and for them to be here, much higher than 15-1.
Incredible. I cannot believe how bad Central Connecticut State was. Wow.
Yeah, it's alarmingly bad. They were almost $3 to win the tournament before it started.
Yep. All right, Carolina wins and covers, no problem.
There you go.
I asked Nick Bogdanovich, what do you make it? He makes Carolina 5 against Wake. DraftKings open 6.5. And I'm coming right back with North Carolina. I think they blow them out. And then that's probably enough. I think that would be their second quad 1 win then, beating Wake. So then they would play Duke in the semis.
Yep. So look at this. Colorado now leads West Virginia 54-49.
Oh, my God. What happened? How much were they up? West Virginia was up big.
Yeah. They were like cruising.
I don't know, Mitch.
And
I don't know.
Now on the money line, first of all, Colorado's laying 5.5 in the game. They're minus like almost $11 to win the game.
I don't know.
We have 3 minutes to go.
They have, what are they?
Wait a second here. Is this game on TV? It's got to be somewhere. So.
Yeah, it's on ESPN. Well, ESPN Plus, but
you can grab West Virginia right now plus 5.5, down by 5 with 3 minutes to play, or 6-1 in the money line.
Colorado might be at the line. They're 3-17 in league play. I don't know. You can't lose a game like this.
Every fiber in my being, and I'm not watching this game, so I'm not going to do it, but it says you need to come back, do a little on West Virginia right now.
I don't have them in the tournament. This knocks them out of the tournament.
Where were they at right now?
Like a 10. 9 or 10. You can't lose this game.
No, Colorado's terrible.
Yes. This is an atrocious loss.
All right, we got some action going on. There's a personal foul here. It appears to be on West Virginia.
Yeah, Colorado's got to be at the line.
Yeah, they have
for that to be, yes.
Yeah. Again, 3 minutes to play. Right around there, and they are clinging to a 5-point lead. Northwestern has opened up a 10-point lead over Minnesota. That's 12 minutes to go in the second half. They're laying 10.5 in play.
Wow. Whew. 19-5 Nevada. And we got a good start with LaSalle and UMass. 12-6, 5 minutes in.
12, okay.
There you go.
For the total?
Yep.
All right. It's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mike DeCourcy joins the program coming up next. He's been covering college basketball for a long, long time. We'll get into bubble teams, who he likes coming out of some of these tournaments, and on the board coming up tonight as well here on VSiN.